Hi, my name is Kendall Rankage, and today I'm going to talk about my internship at Boyle, Deveny, and Meyer. So, BDM is a public accounting firm located in Missoula, which offers a range of services from accounting to taxation to auditing. These services are offered to individuals, businesses, estate and trust, not for profits, and service departments. My role at BDM was preparing individual taxes in their newly organized professional income tax department. As this was a tax internship, my classroom knowledge largely stemmed from tax classes. I was able to see the effects on wages, interests, dividends, business income, capital gains and losses, and itemized deductions in real time on the 1040. Although you learn in class how these things affect the tax return, sometimes it is really difficult to visualize until you're in a professional setting. I spent a lot of time looking at the 1040 and tax summaries and comparing it to the amount of income that they made versus the amount of taxes that were withheld. So I was able to get a better grasp on the why. And that was sometimes difficult to gather from classroom sessions, so it was nice to put two and two together in the internship. Business ethics, of course, is another big point in tax. I was able to see tax compliance, transparency, and reporting, integrity, and responsibility. Especially as a CPA, you have a duty to comply with the rules and regulations and make estimates accordingly. And I was able to see this through our supervisors and the partners and the kind of responsibility that they had to the clients. Lastly, some general business etiquette and communication skills that are discussed in any and all of your college classes. I saw the good effect that clear communication skills and a questioning mind have. With my work and school experience, I was able to effectively manage my time and focus on projects with more importance or with a smaller time crunch. The biggest challenge at any new job is adapting to their software and their ways around hiccups in the software. So for me, the biggest challenge was knowing how the entry was supposed to play out, but having difficulty deciding how to enter it into the software. For example, I did a Schedule C and was having a hard time figuring out how to enter the beginning and ending inventory without having to put purchases into the software. The easiest way I found for getting around these obstacles was to ask. We were in an open area with the rest of our department, including our direct supervisors and other interns, and this made it really easy for me to ask questions when I felt unsure about a topic. Once I saw it done once or twice, I was likely to understand when I came across the issue again, how to handle it. As I said before, I always think the software at a new job is the most daunting part. Many places have different systems, and even if you know what you're doing, you have to figure out how to implement your skills into those systems. So one of the biggest takeaways for me at my internship was the use of their software. I had done 2 years at Newland and Company prior to working at BDM. So they not only had two different softwares, but they also had different practices in preparation of the tax returns. So after seeing both softwares, I have far more experience and would be able to navigate Lacert and their preparation software, which was Docket. In any different setting, I would be able to implement those. Although I've had plenty of jobs and have written countless emails in my life, I believe this internship elevated my level of professional communication. After preparing taxes, we would email the partners with any outstanding items and questions, which pushed me to test my skills when communicating with others, especially those at higher up levels than I. Lastly, since I'm not from Missoula and my classes were all online, I found myself having a hard time creating a professional network here. BDM was not only extremely welcoming, but also I now have many CPAs and professionals who can assist me in my future endeavors. So, some ethical considerations, although I myself didn't encounter any ethical dilemmas, I could see how they would arise in the tax atmosphere. I listened to many phone calls in our open space where people would try to make up numbers for their business expenses that just didn't seem plausible. Watching how my supervisors handled these situations by making estimates and explaining to the client why the number didn't sound feasible was interesting and something that I know that I will have to deal with in my future. So, seeing how they handled those situations was really helpful. Aside from that, using professional judgment and being smart about privileged information was a must in this internship. We had to be diligent about opening links, uploading private documents, and shredding papers with personal information, such as social security numbers on them. So, at accounting firms, privacy is of utmost importance, and we learned the ins and outs of what to do and what not to do with this information. I believe that my biggest impact on the firm was having a different point of view. As I said, in our department, we had a big group of people in the upstairs open area that consisted of two of the founding partners, two CPAs that supervised us, two employed tax preparers, and three interns, including me. So we all brought different perspectives to the table, and we would regularly learn from things from other people in the group. So whether we'd be asking the founding partners or asking our supervisors or our other peers, we were able to all learn from each other, and we all had different backgrounds, such as some of us were in school still and taking CPAs, and others had years and years of experience under their belt. So I think that we all were able to learn from each other and contribute to the learning experience. So, some future applications for me, BDM has solidified my choice to continue my career in taxation. I am graduating, but I will still be studying for the CPA, and BDM has actually hired me full time. So, I am now more determined than ever to achieve my goal of obtaining my CPA because I'm now employed at a firm. Learning from this experience and others who have gone through it themselves has been really motivating for me to believe that I too can do it. Not only is there people who have been in the same boat, but there's also people who are currently in the same boat going through the same process. So I feel very thankful for the opportunity to feel less alone in achieving my CPA while at BDM. So, overall, I believe that this is the most beneficial internship that I have completed. I had so much support from the supervisors and my peers, and they made coming to work very enjoyable and a learning experience. I now know different techniques of preparing taxes and how different tax softwares can vary from each other. And I've also had the benefit of doing taxes for a few years, so I got to see how the different tax laws change from year to year and how they affect the tax return. That is all I have. This was a great experience with a great team, and I would highly recommend it to any other students that are seeking out an internship.